I'm thinking how to start. So this is a totally unprepared ad hoc attempt to start creating on YouTube. I, um, I've been writing a lot on Medium and Substack, and several people mentioned to me, well, it's been on my mind for a while to add a new channel to my creative efforts. I just don't like, I like writing, but I don't like any kind of speaking, especially public speaking. But there's always a first time, so here I am. I don't have any script or plan. Just wanted to, I guess, talk a little bit about myself, and what I plan to do on my YouTube channel, but I don't have a plan, so I'm not sure how this video will go, but let me try. So I'm on Medium. I write on several topics. Running is my passion, and this will be, so I'll talk a lot about running. I like all things pop culture. So I grew up, I spent my childhood growing up in Soviet Moscow, and so a lot of Western music. On the one hand, it was hidden from people living in the Soviet Union, but at the same time, my dad loved rock and pop music, so I was exposed to it, and because of him, I fell in love, and I just music is a big part of my life. So pop culture, running. I don't want to say healthy living, because I'm not obsessing about my health. I just want to live a balanced life. I want to live a long life. So I mean, I do care about trying to live healthy, but this is not a health channel of any sort. What else? Family. So I have 4 kids. I had a family when I was very young. So my wife and I have been together for almost 25 years. It'll be 25 years this summer. We met when we were teenagers, and I had so our oldest son, he's 18 now, first year at college, and we had I was 25 when he was born, and then his younger brother's 2 years younger, and then we had, well, I don't, do we say we, or do I say my wife? We had twins, and the twins will be 12 in December. So I have a big family, and it's a blessing, but it also makes my life very intense at times. Well, every day, I should say. I'll try to expand on every one of those topics separately. Hopefully I'll learn how to speak better and in a more exciting way, not in this I don't anticipate listening to myself to the recording of this video, because I just don't like the way it sounds, and I've always been shy about my public speaking in general, but also about my accent. So I've spent many years in the West. I spent many years in England, and then in the US, and I still, I don't sound like I obviously I'm good at English, and I like writing, but I still have an accent. And sometimes you meet new people, and they say, where are you from? And that question bothers me somewhat, because clearly they're signaling that, and they know that I'm not local, so to say, so that I'm a foreigner. Again, it's not I wouldn't call it an insecurity of any kind, but sometimes I don't like it. So I don't like my own speaking. Anyway, I mentioned running, so I was gonna time this video, but I forgot. I think the plan was to for the first one to be maybe a 10-minute video. So I'm about 20 minutes from now, I'll step. It's 4:45 on Friday afternoon, and I run every day. I've never, in the last 3 years, I've never missed a run, unless I was injured, and I was injured a couple of times, nothing serious, or if it was a planned rest day. I mean, I did miss some days, of course, when I was too busy or when things happened, but in general, I don't miss my running. So I for some reason I brought my shoes, my running shoes, as if I was going to talk about my running shoes, which I'm not. But anyway, so these are my running shoes, the so-called super shoes, Vaporflies by Nike. So carbon-plated shoes that usually I use them. I barely run on them, so I use them only for racing or for my speed work. But well, today will be my speed work, so I'm gonna run a fast 10-mile session, the so-called tempo run. So I'll treat myself to a pair of fast shoes. They do make a difference. I like them. So I as I said, I don't really use a lot, but sometimes I just treat myself and put them on, and it makes running more enjoyable. Where do I continue? So let me I'm improvising, so I was going to talk about running, but I'm not. So maybe I'll start just kind of by picking small chapters from my life, my childhood, my grown-up life, and just talking a little bit about myself, and then covering the topics that I mentioned, running, pop culture, and so on and so on. So well, okay, let me give you one interesting episode that happened today. One interesting conversation. Well, it was not a conversation; it was a text exchange with my son. So perhaps I'll mention that, and then that'll be it for this first attempt of doing something on YouTube. So there's this guy on called Brian Johnson. So he's an ex-tech entrepreneur who sold his business, made money, and then now he's dedicated his life to basically what he reversing the process of aging. So I think he's in his probably late 40s, so a little bit. I'm 43, so he's a little bit older than me. So he's every day he's doing everything he can do to not only stay healthy, but actually reverse his aging. So it's a little bit, if you follow him on social media. And when I first found out, I was like, what is this? This is crazy. And I found him very unappealing, because I felt like, well, this guy is trying to stay young, and it's a little bit narcissistic. So my very initial reaction was very negative. However, I then followed Brian on social media, and I've come to respect him. I think what he's doing, he's not doing anything in a patronizing way. He's very dedicated to his mission of doing everything he can to stay as young as he can. I'm hearing some steps, and hoping that no one will walk in during this amazing video. So yeah, Brian takes. If you follow him, you'll see really strange things that he does. He injects himself with things. He takes pills. He measures every possible activity he's involved in. So I mean, just like follow Brian Johnson if you're interested. I think the way he's just doing it is interesting. He's not patronizing. He's just doing it for the sake of really trying to understand what can be done about human lifespan. So the conversation I had with my son today, we were exchanging text messages, and I don't know how it started, but we were like, by the way, Brian spends like some insane amount of money on his experiments and maintaining what he does. So I don't know what it is, but I think that's 2 million, I forget for which period, but it's a lot of money. So anyway, my son and I started wondering, is he gonna live to? There's no way he's gonna live to 200 years. So whatever, he's definitely gonna live longer than most people. 100 years, he's gonna be functional and active longer than most people. But if you compare that, the amount of money he's investing, and just everything he's doing, um, I don't want to sound negative because I just like it's not in my nature to criticize successful people or doubt them, but something tells me that he'll not manage to set any records in terms of his age. I don't think he's only lived 150 years old. He'll probably live to 100 years. We don't know. I mean, we just don't know. So I'm a little bit skeptical about his ability to radically outlive his peers, and myself included. So we were kind of, my son and I were just exchanging a bunch of messages, and I was like saying, let's see where we are in 40 years from now. And so one of my goals, I love running, as I mentioned, so I improved a lot. I'll do a separate video about my running. One of my goals is to, I've been changing my goals about running recently. So when I started improving and I started achieving good results in running, I got all excited, and I was thinking, and I still think that I will continue improving my marathon results for the next 10 years or so. I think it's fascinating that I'm capable of getting faster despite getting older. But at some point, I also realized that, look, doing 80 miles a week is just too much. Not even physically. I mean, if I could, I would. But just there are other things in life, and you just have to sacrifice your work, the time you spend with your family, and other things. And also, you just deep inside, you kind of know that this is not the right way. 80 miles a week will help you run better in the short term. But is it making you healthier? Probably not. I'm pretty sure that someone who runs 40 miles a week will end up healthier than this running crazy mileage week after week, year after year. Anyway, so my point is that I've been adjusting my goals from trying to achieve always improve my PR. I still will attempt to improve, but I really want to run when I'm 30 years from now, 3 decades away from now, when I am in my 70s. I want to run, I want to be active, and I can totally visualize and see myself doing that. Being active, being healthy in my my body and my mind. So to achieve that, I'm more focusing now on moderation, just putting a little bit less pressure on my body as far as running goes, being more relaxed about the weekly mileage. I still run 60 to 65 miles a week. Now I feel like this is getting a little bit monotonous, and the plan was not to discuss my weekly mileage. The plan was just to start recording something, creating my first video. Oh, now I'm seeing that there's a timer on my phone that shows 30 minutes. So I guess that's longer than 10 minutes, and apparently it's YouTube helps you monetize better if your videos are more than 10 minutes. So hopefully I'll make a lot of money from this extraordinary video. But anyway, so that's my very first attempt. A little chaotic, no structure. Mentioned a whole bunch of things. Wasn't about anything in particular, but here we go. I need to find the willpower not to attempt any editing, and put it out there, and just let it stay there, even if it's a bit messy and ugly. And as I mentioned, I don't really like myself speaking, but hopefully I'll improve and come up with better topics, more structure, so that I can make it more interesting for whoever decides to follow me. So again, I write on Medium, in case you haven't come across my writing. I have a Substack email letter, and this is my Instagram account is pretty well non-existent. Well, I kind of use it, but not really. And so this is my first attempt to do YouTube.